What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Chilling with Jay. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Today, man, we're gonna be cleaning the carburetor on the Polaris Predator 500. I already took it apart and started, but I want to go ahead and give you guys a rundown on how I took it apart. I want to show you guys how to do it yourself. Okay, so this front clip right here, you got one screw here, and you got one screw right here on the left, and you got one screw right here on the right. Right here and right here. Those three screws remove the front clip. After you remove the front clip, you will unhook the lights, left and the right side. You just twist it left or right and it pops right out. That'll take the front clip off. Wait, you got two more screws here also. These two screws goes on this side where the tank sits. The tank sits here, and it's two screws here. So you'll remove those two screws, this one screw, and then these two screws, and that'll move the front clip with the headlights and the bracket. After you take that off, then you'll come back here and take this screw off to take off the gas tank, and then you can unscrew these two screws here, and this will push back where you can pull the tank out. Then you got this one hose on this side where it's at. I took it off. You got three hoses that run to the fuel pump. This is the fuel pump. You got three hoses. The first hose runs to the gas tank. It runs to this reserve off fuel switch. So the first hose right here, this top on the top of the fuel pump, it runs to the tank. The second hose right here, it runs to the top of the motor where the head's at. The third hose right here to the fuel pump, it runs right here, it goes to the carburetor. So you have three hoses that's running to the fuel pump that goes back to the engine bay. So you got one that goes to the tank, one that goes to the motor, one that goes to the carburetor. Then once you get back here, once you got all that off, this is the carburetor. As you guys can see, it's a little green. We're going to take the carburetor cleaner and clean that all up. But I'm just showing you guys. I had already started, but I decided I'm going to do a video on it in case somebody ever want to clean their bike and they don't want to pay a shop to do it. They can do it themselves, so I'm doing it myself. So once you get to the carburetor sits like this. This is how the carburetor sits. It goes in there, and then it runs to the filter. Let me run and grab the other side. Give me one moment. Okay, we back at it. This is how this goes. This carburetor sits there. This piece goes here. So you would just take, sometimes they have a Phillip head or a flat head. Unscrew that, pop that side out, unscrew it from the carburetor, Phillip head, flat head, unscrew it from that side, pop it off, unscrew it same way, Phillip head, flat head, unscrew it off. Then you got your carburetor in hand. This is the hose that I was telling you guys that runs to the fuel pump. That fuel pump line runs into the second hole. It runs all the way back to this hose. So you'll pop that off. Once you pop that off, you got the throttle body right here. I didn't remove the throttle body. Some people take the whole carburetor off and clean it. I don't think it's necessary because this carburetor was practically brand new. Some people carburetor be too far gone that you have to dip it and let it sit and acid. Some people drop it and put it in acid. I'm doing it the old school way because my carburetor was just put on here 6-7 months ago. I let the bike sit up while I was at Chilling with Jay garage. I let it sit up, so it accumulated some trash in it. So you know, when you let gas sit, that's what happens. So long story short, we're here today to clean it up. So what I did, I unscrewed this. This is it goes this way. Wait, it goes this way. So what I did, once I removed it from there, I flipped it upside down. You got a cover that goes here. Let me show you guys. Let me go get it. It's a cover that goes over this. This is the bottom. This is where the float sit. You got a float, and then you got a pin that goes in here. It's a pin that goes in here, and it's a float that sits here. Some people's on black, some people floats are white. Let me go get it so I can show you guys. Okay, you guys, this is the float I was telling you. This wasn't even white, it was green. So what I end up doing is taking the float off, taking the pin. This is the pin that goes in that like goldish hole that's on the carburetor. This pin goes in there. That pin hooks on here. That pin actually hooks inside of that underneath. It goes in there and it holds there. And you got this here, this bracket here, it goes through here and it holds that. And then you got this screw screws down onto this piece. It screws down on the edge of that, and it holds that in place on the bottom of the carburetor. So you want to remove all that and clean it. And then he goes the bottom, and it has 4 screws. You want to unscrew this. This is where the float sits in. This is the bottom. It got an overflow hose on it. So what you want to do, this is the seal. You want to get this seal cleaned up. You want to get the float cleaned up. You want to get the key cleaned up. And you want to get the bowl of the bottom of the carburetor cleaned up. And then you want to run your, like I said, your air compressors. Some people use the air compressor. Some people just use the carburetor cleaner like this with the screw on it. You got the screw on it, and you take that, but make sure you have on glasses and make sure you have on a mask. And you shoot the carburetor cleaner through all the holes. You'll shoot it through this hose. You'll shoot it to the hole where the key go. You'll shoot it through the holes where the gas run into the tank. You'll shoot it through the tank hose. You'll shoot it everywhere. You want to shoot that and make sure it cleans everything that's in there. And then if you do have an air compressor, run it the same way. Take the air compressor. You got the give me one moment. Let me show you guys. You want to have one of these. Then you want to run the air through all the lines to make sure ain't no trash, no gunk, no dirt stuck in there. Because even a small piece of dirt will have you taking the carburetor back apart and redoing it. So you want to have that, and that'll work perfect. But if you don't have that, you could just use the carburetor cleaner with the screw. I prefer to get the biggest one they have. That way you got plenty juice. Or just buy 2. I usually just buy 2. But I already did that process. I already had them clean the carburetor, so I already did that process. I'm just giving you guys, just catching you up on what I already did. So I replaced this. I went to the shop and I replaced this because right here on the, try to get it to zoom in better. This is the off on fuel switch. So right here is leaking. Somewhere in here is leaking. So what I want to do is take it off and replace it, because I don't know why over time they do. It's, you have to, I don't know, like, if you a 4-wheeler ATV dirt bike person, you know these don't last long. You run through these. You run through these. You run through filters. You run through hoses. You run through gas lines. You just run through this stuff. It just doesn't stay with you long. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know if they're getting cheaper or worse or what, or better. I don't know. They just doesn't last very long. So it starts leaking up in here in this area. So I went to the shop and bought another one. Let me let you guys see. It's right here. It's right here. They just don't last long. So I bought another one. So we're going to screw this down to the tank. Once we screw this down to the tank, we're going to put all the gas hoses back on. Remember what I told you guys, you got 3 hoses that's running back towards the motor. You have to make sure you put those hoses back on right from the fuel pump. You got the first one that runs to the tank, the second one that runs to the block, and the third one that runs to the carburetor. So you want to make sure you have those on right, and then you want to unscrew everything off of the carburetor and make sure you blowing all the lines. You want to blow in all these holes, all the holes you want to blow into. This hose, you want to blow into all of them. You want to make sure everything's apart and you blowing all side, all of them. You can do the carburetor cleaner first, or you can blow the air in it first. I prefer to blow the carburetor cleaner in there first, where it can clean up everything. Then you come back with the air, then you come back with the carburetor cleaner again, then you come back with the air. You could do it 2 or 3 times. It really don't matter. The more the merrier, the more the better. So it won't hurt you guys to keep doing it over and over and over again. So this is how far I made it, so I can show you guys, give you a video if you want to do it yourself instead of paying a shop to do it. And so now what I'm going to do is start putting it back together. Clean everything up, put it back together, spray it one more time and put it back together, and we should have a carburetor, gas tank, brand new fuel lines, brand new gas filter. Should work like magic. And if it don't, you got to take it back apart and you messed up somewhere. I try to explain it as good as I can. If I didn't call the parts the right name, I usually rename my own parts. If you guys watch my channel, watch my videos, I name whatever I think the part is, but I know what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, like I said, it's a Polaris 500. I'm showing you guys the old school way of cleaning the carburetor, showing you guys if you don't want to pay a shop, you can do it yourself. So that was the rundown. Now I must put the camera on the stand and put it back together, and you guys can follow that process of me putting it back together over and out. And also, you guys, once you remove the tank, you take these 2 screws out. That's where this go. You have the filter and the fuel. You have the filter and the fuel reserve off switch on it. Some bikes come with, on the line, it'll have a split in the line and your filter will be there. Some people say it's better, some people say it's worse, because sometimes when your filter get trash in and when you got it on the line, you could just take it off, replace it, and keep going. With the 500 Predator, you got to drop the tank, or take the tank off and change this all out, buy a new one of these, it's just, some people prefer either or. But on the Predator 500, we have this one. So on this one, what you have to do is, once you remove the tank off, you take the 2 screws off, pop this off, you take your top off, and the remaining gas that you have in it, what you would do is you will shake it up real good. You'll get you a bucket. You can go to Home Depot, Walmart, wherever, buy your bucket, flip it over, shake it up, get all that trash and old gas out. You'll shake it, and then you'll take the air compressor, you'll blow in it to move the remaining trash around. Take the same gas you just pulled out it, pour some more back in it without the trash going back in it. Pour some more gas in it, shake it up, do it again, check your tank over and over, make sure your tank doesn't have any trash, make sure ain't no sand, make sure ain't no dirt in there. After you're done with that, then you know your tank's clean. Then you can start putting all your new parts back on. Some people are cleaning up the gas tank, you know, see it's dirty, oily, but I ain't doing all that. So some people do, they'll clean it all up, make it look beautiful, make it look good. I'd rather put it back together and make it look beautiful, clean it up. But that's how you clean the tank, old school fashion way. Everybody got different ways and newer ways. This the way I've been doing it since I was 12. I'm kind of a little scratchy at it right now, I haven't did this in a long time. So, but I just wanted to share this video with somebody in case somebody's trying to do their own at their home. So let's get back into it. And make sure you have like an old blanket or an old sheet where you can lay flat on the floor once you start the process of cleaning the carburetor. That way if you drop a bolt or drop a screw or drop a nut, you'll find it easily because there's a blanket right there on the floor where you're working at. You don't have to, but I prefer it because it's better where if anything fall, you can find it right away. And if you got oil or gas spill, it'll be on the blanket. You throw the blanket away. That way you're not messing up the ground, the concrete, or the dirt. Just something to use. I thought I'd share that with you guys. Let's get back into it. Alright you guys, I got it back together. Got the carburetor in, got the gas tank in, got all three of the hoses hooked back to the fuel pump. I hope this helped you guys out where you could do it yourself. Everything's tightened back up. I just got to put on the seat, the front clip, plug up the headlights, and put the last tube on. Gonna drop the gas in here, make sure we ain't got no leaks, and make sure we did the job right. Let's get back into it. Don't want to put too much, just want to put enough so I can do a walk around and check everything. Make sure ain't nothing leaking. You want to make sure ain't nothing leaking. So if ain't nothing leaking, we're doing the right thing. We got enough in there above the float. Gas tank look beautiful. Gas look good. Let's get the gas cap. Try to crank her up. Like I say, we don't want to put too much gas. Let's crank her up. Hear how she sound. We have no leaks. Everything's good. Let's try to fire this baby up. Took a little minute for me to crank her up. A few more adjustments. Alright you guys, I'm pretty much done with the 500. Got it all put back together. The only thing I have to do now is put the seat on and the front clip, and she ready to roll. You hear the fan going, I had to do a little bit of adjusting where it stay running, where it ain't isling up, because she was isling up on me earlier, so I had to do a few adjustments so it wouldn't isle up. So I got her where I want her, man. She back together, so pretty much got to finish putting the seat and the front clip on with the headlights with the bracket, and she pretty much done, man. Alright you guys, finna put this front clip back on. Make sure you hook up your lights first. Once you got your lights hooked up, you can screw it back down. All right, the lights hooked back up. Remember what I told you. This screw, and then you got 2 more screws on the left side and on the right side. I'm going to tighten those up. Like I said, you guys, a lot of these screw holes, they either broke or don't have screws for them, or I can't line it up to put the screw, so I don't even, it don't bother me or affect me, so I'm not worrying about it. I care about the performance more than I care about how it look right now. But when I start making it look beautiful, if you guys watch the channel, how I did the Ford Bronco, that's how all my stuff gonna look. Paid attention to all details. I leave now detail untouched. So when it's all said and done, you're gonna think this 05 is a 2022. Cause that's how I make my stuff look. I buy it to fix it up. For right now, she's ugly, but she runs. Going to give her a spin real quick. Give me one moment. Let's get back into it. Gonna give her a test run. Alright, you guys, we did a quick test run. She sounds good, she looks good. Well, technically she ugly, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, she runs good, she performs good. Like I said before, if this helps anybody out, peace. Like I said before, you guys, if this helps anybody out, I'm glad I can help. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Polaris Predator 500 back together. Simple carburetor clean. The old school, old-fashioned way. The way I was taught. The way I used to do it. I ain't did it in a while, but for my first time doing it in years, I think I did a good job. She runs, she performs better. We don't have no gas leaks. And we cut off right there because I ain't put a lot of gas in it. I just got to put some more gas in it. But other than that, she's ready to roll. and she don't owl up anymore. I adjusted her where she didn't owl up anymore. So like I said, if this video helped anybody, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Until later on, peace.